Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So in this late night stream, I want to talk about altcoins that are exploding. There are a lot that are doing very well right now, but there are two that I want to cover specifically. I have talked about them many times in the past, but I thought I would talk about them again because they are on an absolute tear right now. One is Harmony and one is Bepro. Both of these are up substantially today, but they're only two among many. There are so many out there that are doing quite well, and I know a lot of you guys love it. I love it too. So let's do a deep dive on these two projects and talk about the other ones that are exploding as well. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, although I'm late occasionally. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my live streams. All right, let's get started. A lot of people in the chat already. Welcome. All right, let me change my screen here. So Bitcoin is right back to where it was, 60,000. There was a slight dip and it just came right back up. This kind of shows you how strong Bitcoin is. It's not going anywhere right now. It's not going anywhere. And I do anticipate that this coming week is going to be good for Bitcoin. Stimulus checks is hitting people's accounts. The overall broader market looks like it's going to be strong. At least futures indicate tomorrow will be a strong day. The rest of this week could be very strong as well. And if the broader market is strong and people are getting extra money, guess what? That's extra good for Bitcoin, which is why I don't think Bitcoin's going to go anywhere. It keeps climbing the ranks. Soon it's going to be above silver. And once that happens, I think it's going to be even, the momentum is going to be even higher. Paul, appreciate that. I think the momentum is going to go even higher. And you know what? I think 100,000 or 90,000, wherever this next leg up will take Bitcoin, it's going to come much sooner than expected. So I'm looking forward to a very positive week starting from tomorrow. And also I think the overall market is going to be very hot. Very hot indeed. All right. So looking at CMC, total market cap is 1.81 trillion. It says it's down 1%. I'm not sure that's correct because I remember this morning was right at 1.8 trillion. So I actually think it went up. So I don't know why that says down 1%. But if you look at the overall list, there are some that are just kind of hovering because the Bitcoin fell down a little bit. But there are some that are moving tremendously well. Terra is one. Theta is one. These two I've covered many times. I keep telling you guys how good they are. And they slowly and surely keeps climbing the ranks. So now Theta is up 70% for this week. Another 10% today. It is now over $7 billion. Terra right behind it. 90% for this week. 13% for today. And now it's above $6 billion. A lot of people overlook big caps, or mid caps, I should say. And just this morning, I talked about the 50-25-25 rule. You don't want to ignore mid caps. They move substantially too, especially this. 90% in a week. Who would not want that, right? Also, VeChain is starting to come up a big way, above $4.5 billion, slowly moving up. I'm very glad to see that. When you go down the list, there's a lot. Even Hashgraph is going up in a big way. I still personally don't like Hashgraph that much, but I understand why it's starting to go up because they're coming out with their native tokens specifically for NFT creation, and NFTs are really hot right now. So maybe this really carries Hashgraph even higher. But I still think they're a little bit too corporate for myself, but a lot of people made a lot of money with Hashgraph. And you go down the list, you know what? Engine is another one that is just on fire. 80% for the week, 32% just today alone, climbing up to $2.2 billion. You know, just yesterday, I remember, I was talking about how there are bargains to be had. And yesterday, I remember I went through a list. I'm like, oh, look at Engine. Engine is actually down. You know, it wouldn't be a bad time to pick it up. And boom, today it's up 33%. Even Chili's is up after taking a breather, right? Decentraland, I've been saying how undervalued it is for a while now, up a staggering 150% for this week, 17% for this for today. Yeah, you get my point, right? There's just so much going on. And it's not just NFTs, which leads to the first project I want to talk about. And that is Harmony, which is up a staggering 60, 70% today. It was just at 70%. Now it came down a little bit, but I don't think anyone's complaining. Up 64%. And I talked about Harmony yesterday too. I said it was a promising, very promising blockchain, especially due to the leadership. And I have some new info to share about Harmony that I think you guys will like. But one good thing about Harmony is it's pretty much on all the major exchanges. So if you're looking at it from like a US standpoint, it is on Binance.us, which is great. It's also on KuCoin. And those of you guys that do use Binance or Huobi or any of these other exchanges, they're relatively, they're on relatively all the major ones. So that is good. And if you look at a circulating supply, 74% on total supply, which is good. Overall market cap still under $1 billion, which means there's still a lot of room to grow. A lot of room to grow. I would say, you compare Harmony to say something like Solana. Solana's at 4 or 5 billion. So you do the math. There's still a big gap between the two, and you could argue that they're about the same. And this Harmony is going up while I talk about it. All right. So what is Harmony? When I first came across this, I'm like, this is the silliest like homepage ever. What does a DeLorean and a guy on a hoverboard and smoke and rockets have anything to do with anything? And it really has nothing to do with Harmony, but I think they just think it's cool. And a lot of people also think it's cool. Well, I'm like, that's a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? But if you dig down, you realize they are a very promising blockchain that is very, very, very fast. The team created Harmony to be Ethereum compatible and to be way, way, way faster. So that, any dApp maker that's on Ethereum can move over and utilize it. You look at their transaction times 2 seconds for finality, basically settles in 2 seconds versus 6 minutes for Ethereum. Ethereum 2, 12.8 minutes. I'm not sure that's right. Even Cosmos is 7 seconds. Polkadot is 12 seconds. Well, Harmony, their block time is 2 seconds. They have 1,000 validators. Their fees is basically near zero. And you know what? They also have sharding, which is what Ethereum 2.0 is trying to do. They already have that done. So it's a very fast blockchain with sharding, and it's Ethereum compatible. So it has all that going for it, right? So that's a plus. But what I really love is, not this, but I'll show you this. They are a Binance incubated project. They work with all the major exchanges, work with all the major wallets, and they have a lot of backers, right? Here's the thing. This is what I really love about Harmony. I think this is why a lot of people really love this project is you look at a team, a group of young individuals, entrepreneurs, but they're not just pretty faces. Someone sent me this, a team of advisors, and you look at this. The group of people are smart, really, really, really smart, full of PhDs and master degrees and Ivy League graduates. And Stephen Tsai, who is the founder, he created a startup that was bought by Apple, and he was a Google engineer, worked on Google Maps, he worked at Apple. He's a PhD in cryptography. Okay, so that relates. And you look at all the other guys, they're Google engineers, or they graduated with PhDs, or graduated with master degrees at Ivy League schools, or they worked at, you just look at it. I don't even need to explain. They are really, really strong, very strong for a team. And when you have a very strong team, it's really hard to mess up a project, right? Ones that are dedicated, young, and ambitious, and extremely talented. When you add all that together, that makes a very, very good team, right? So I'm glad to see Harmony get some love right now, because even when I was introduced to it not too long ago, I'm like, yeah, they're promising, but I don't see a whole lot until I dug deep and I saw that they do have a fantastic team. They have fantastic backers too. Michael Arrington of Arrington Capital also invested in Harmony, so that's pretty good, along with Binance and several other people. Now, this is what I also love. You look at this. This shows you all the nodes out there that's powering the network, right? And how much tokens is actually staked within. If you look at a total network stake, and this is really interesting, there's 3.8 billion, about 3.9 billion of one that's staked. Okay, not even on the exchanges. They're just staked to power the network. And you look at the number of circuit supply of 9.2 or 9.3 billion, and you do the math, and then you'll realize that 41% of the circulating supply is staked right now. 41%. That is an enormous amount for a project. That shows how many people actually believe in it. So there's very little that are actually circulating, right? So a huge amount is locked in, and that's really fantastic for a project. And also, they recently opened up their Binance Smart Chain bridge. So not only do they have Ethereum bridge, where you can basically transfer over anything, including NFT like ERC721 tokens and so forth, but now they have a Binance Smart Chain bridge as well, so that even Binance Smart Chain projects, maybe they moved there temporarily because of Ethereum congestion. Maybe now they want to just settle on Harmony. They can't do that. So as you can see, they have a lot of things going on. And Rumorville has it that Harmony will be getting into NFTs. They haven't really talked about it. I haven't seen it anywhere. Maybe it was secretly talked about. I don't know. But that's the next phase that people are feeling that Harmony will be getting into NFTs. And also, there's been rumors about Harmony getting added to Coinbase for quite some time. They were considered. They haven't been added. That could be coming around the corner. So, as you can see, Harmony is a very promising project, and even at 840 million, you compare them to, say, like I said, like Solana. Solana I think would be a really good comparison. Solana is at 4 billion. Cosmos at 4 billion. These guys, Avalanche is like 4 billion. You can make the argument this is just as good as they are, right? Maybe not as much traction. Maybe not as much DeFi projects or dApps that have moved over, but they certainly have the potential. So, yeah, that's why Harmony is doing so well. That's why I also love it. What's that super chat? Can you check the BTC outflow inflow? Yeah, I'll check it during Q&A. But I don't think you're going to see much. F2 pool have basically stopped. And that could be because Crypto Quant have basically change how they view the addresses. So, but I'll look at it. I'll look at it in Q&A. All right, next one is Bepro, which is up 80-90% today, and they are at a market cap of 24 million, which is still ridiculously low. When I first discovered them, they were about 7 million in market cap, so they are definitely climbing up. And you know what? It's surprising to see such a young and small project actually have a lot of potential. I have, out of all the ones I've looked at recently and in a while, I don't think there's another one that is just that is this low in market cap that I think have this much potential. Honestly, so. Why do I say that? Well, you look at Bepro, they label themselves as the future of DeFi gaming. They're definitely concentrating on gaming, but they're not really. They're way more than that. Think of them as a code base or a white label solution for all things. Gaming, esports, betting, DeFi, tokenization, and pretty soon, I'm pretty sure they're going to introduce NFTs as well. They haven't talked about it yet, but seeing how they're kind of in that realm of things, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me whatsoever. So they do have DeFi, which means that they help creators or projects come out with their own tokens, which is important because a lot of projects want to be on Uniswap, wants to have a liquidity pool, and they want to have people You know, I don't know. You could do a lot of stuff with tokens, right? You could go into NFTs. You can borrow against it. There's just a lot of stuff happening. So they definitely help companies get involved with that. They help companies also do on-chain staking. Kind of like how I just mentioned on Harmony. They have their on-chain staking. They help projects do that. They also help projects, do esports. And this is already live. They have a white label solution so that you can have esports betting right on your webpage for countries that actually allow it. But they already have that. They have a lot of stuff going for such a small project, and they are already making money. If you read through the blog, they're concentrating on making money, not just be a company that's focused on hyper growth only. They want hyper growth, but they also want to make money. And recently they offer this, a rewards program for liquidity. So they are on Uniswap. So they're giving like a prize pool for people that are providing liquidity on Uniswap. They'll give up to $30,000 in monthly rewards. So that is something new. And also one of the co-founders, Rue, he is not only co-founder Bepro, but he's also co-founder of another project called Polka Markets, which is a gamified prediction markets, yes, on Polkadot. So he's kind of like, running both things. Young guy, and he's doing pretty well. Right? And and lastly, they did partner up with Elrond, and this is where they're going to create automated on-chain records like auditing, and they're going to store it on Elrond. So this is more like a usage kind of partnership. Not that Elrond is doing anything right now, but it could evolve. Elrond is basically trying to make partnerships with everyone. So that's Bepro in a nutshell. I think they have a lot of promise. Of course, they're young, they're small, but a small team of 3 seems ambitious. They seem to have the right attitude. I like how they write their blog. It seems like they're down-to-earth guys that's not just focused on pump and dumps. So I think they have a lot of potential, which is why I think a lot of people is catching on. If you look at where they're listed, they're on KuCoin, so U.S. citizens can get them. If they ever get on even a bigger exchange like Binance, then watch out. They're going to explode up to the moon. So, yeah, Bepro also very, very, very interesting, and they have been going up quite a bit. All right, lastly, I know I just want to concentrate on these two, but I did want to talk about one other one that a lot of people are talking about right now, and that's Ecomi. And I have been talking about Ecomi for quite some time. And they are up also a staggering 120% today. That's because they're a pure NFT play. They have a lot of licensing, like with DC and the NFL, and they have their own marketplace. So they do have a lot of things going. And they also, I think, have some movie producers as well. You can see Ghostbusters here, right? So they are also up in a big way. But what I didn't like about Ecomi was the fact that they were not on really good exchanges, for example, just Bitforex and BitMax, but it is open on U.S. market. So yeah, I just want to mention about them too. I mean, obviously a project that goes up 100%, very, very, very hot, right? So yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about because there's just a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on right now. Besides Bitcoin being so strong, you got to pay attention to altcoins, man. These guys are just flying. Now, I always advise you don't want to FOMO in. When something's up 70, 90, 120%, you don't want to FOMO in, right? That's why I've been saying when there are dips, when there's breather times, you should dollar cost average if you like a project. Just like how I talked about yesterday when I was covering a lot of these projects. Like I was talking about like Engine, stalled out a little bit, went down a little bit. I'm like, seems like a good pickup time, right? And today's up like almost 40%. So you got to wait for opportunities. Let things cool down. Let the gains come to you. That's why I always say, don't FOMO in, because a lot of times you FOMO in, you're going to make the wrong decision. So let the gains come to you. Find good buy opportunity, dollar cost average, HODL. And right now, while Bitcoin is so hot and leaning away, I just don't see the altcoins cooling down anytime soon. And there's a lot more room to grow for Bitcoin. That's for sure. Lastly, before I get to Q&A, I want to talk about this. Huobi, I didn't know this, but this came out recently. Huobi actually came out with a tokenized Bitcoin called HBDC. And the only reason for this is because you could utilize it now for DeFi plays. I did not know that, but they did. Huobi DeFi Labs did form a relationship, a partnership with Kava. So now users can stake this HBDC and earn an annual yield of 8%. You know, like right now, if you're trying to stake Bitcoin, most of the companies will give you about 3 to 5%. But now if you tokenize it to HBDC and then you stake it with Kava, you're getting 8%. So it's kind of interesting how you have all these tokenized synthetic tokens that you could use in DeFi, but somehow after being tokenized, you could get a bigger stake or a bigger percentage, right? So just want to bring that up, and definitely, you know, shows that Kava is on top of things. And by the way, they are a channel sponsor, in case you didn't know. All right, that is it. I'll turn to you guys for some good old Q&A. Oh, by the way, I'm not drinking a White Claw today. I should, though. But I was drinking a little too much yesterday, so. Someone asked me, Ted Ecomi said on Twitter they will be on Uniswap by the end of the month. I will buy now. I don't know if Uniswap is going to make them pump. I guess it's better than being on those BitMEX and Bit4X, but that's good. All right, I forgot. Someone asked me to look at Bitcoin inflow and outflow. So here is F2 pool. Let's look at this real quick. You see, this is what I'm saying. You know, the outflow from F2 pool has died down significantly. And I even wonder if they just really stopped, or they, you know, like Crypto Quant basically changed the algorithm. They said they were, but maybe they didn't do it yet. I don't know. But you could see it's very, very small. I'm trying to change my camera. How do I change my camera here? So yeah, you could see the outflow from F2 pool is really, really low. So whatever happened recently, it was not due to F2 pool, or Crypto Quant couldn't crack it. So, you know, right now, I said last week, you know, with the stimulus package passing, and with F2 pool outflow being low, you know, that's a really good combination. Really good combination. And I think yesterday I showed Coinbase outflow, which is what you want to see, because Coinbase outflow means that people bought and basically is put into custody service. And yesterday, man, you could see the transaction count being super, super high, which is very fantastic. Look at this. You know, that shows how many people are basically taking their Bitcoin out of Coinbase. So that's fantastic. That's also a very, very, very good indicator what you want to see. So hopefully that helps answer that. All right, super chat, Anthony NYF. It's like Yearn Finance of MFT prices go to 1K soon. Is it by Andrew NYF? Non-fungible Yearn. Can it go to 1K soon? It probably could, because it's so low in market cap. If it's just on Uniswap, no, it's probably not. Honestly, projects that are just on Uniswap, they don't really pump that much. But let's take I did look at this. World's first DeFi protocol to utilize NFT tokens and make yield farming more secure. Yeah, I've said this. I don't know why anyone wants to do this, and someone please explain to me why you want to utilize NFT tokens to yield farm. I don't get it. How is that different than just yield farming with regular crypto? Why do you need to yield farm with NFTs? I just feel like that's a gimmick. Unless someone could really explain to me the benefits of that. Andy asked about CRO. I do like CRO. Their main chain, their new chain, a lot of people's looking forward to it. So I am too. That could really drive them up in a big way. I think exchange tokens like CRO will benefit when Coinbase IPOs. King asked about Graph. I think Graph is fine. I think Graph is fine. I think they're a little weaker recently because DeFi plays overall has gotten a little weaker. Where are they even listed? I think they got listed under BSC ecosystem. Yeah. But they're hanging in there. They're not really going down. I think when DeFi comes back, which I do think is going to happen, the graph will come up in a big way. Right now, the craze is in NFTs, so you just gotta wait. They partner with Luxo. Fabian is advisory. What's that? Arini? I don't even know how to say it. Arani? Okay. The digital passport platform for valuables. Okay. I don't get what it is. Perpetual relationship between brands and owners made of trust. We provide valuable objects within authentic, secure, augmented digital representation. In other words, a digital twin. Oh, so they take something real and then tokenize it, right? I just covered something like this. That's what it sounds like. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but if Fabian's advisor, I would be serious about it. So I'll put this on the. It's not on good exchanges though. I'll put this on the maybe, where I'll look at it later. Need to leave the house right now. Your thoughts on Reef? I think it's okay. Reef made partnerships recently. I forgot who. Someone pretty big. I think Elron or someone. But they moved beyond just Polkadot, which I think was their biggest draw. But I think they're not done yet. So we got to see what they're capable of. But I think they're an okay project. Too many people shilled them at the beginning. So, do you know My Neighbor Alice will be available on Binance.us? No, I doubt it. Binance.us will not take any new tokens like that, especially if there's a launch pad, like there's like, something like that. They're too afraid it's a security, so. Where are they at? Yeah, you see, Ben, if you're looking for a small cap, you'd look at exchanges, just right here. You're not going to get pumpability. Honestly, it's really hard to pump without being on Binance or KuCoin. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So, but I'll just look at it real quick, just for a hell of it. Build your planets on Gourmet Galaxy, built on Ethereum, powered by Polkadot. Combining NFT yield farming gamification. Okay. Are they done or not done? Yeah, it doesn't even seem like they're done. Okay. Let's just say okay. I think I'm missing a lot of super chats here. Did you hear Crypto saying 10% of whales is dumping their? Okay, yeah. I mean, not to say anything bad about them, but that's just a ridiculous statement. That's just a ridiculous statement. A Brett says, I got 100K trying to turn to 1 million this March. Thoughts? How could you? It's already halfway through March. You're expecting to go at 10x? Stop it. If you're trying to be that greedy, what's going to end up happening? You're going to lose that 100K. So don't do it, man. Play the long game. Marian asks, you can tokenize anything? Yes, you could literally tokenize anything. And turn it into a liquidity pool to earn yield. See, that's what I hate that. I hate that concept. If you turn it into something NFT, why would anyone want to stake, in a liquidity pool that's backed by an NFT? I still don't get that. I don't get that at all. Thoughts on Ravencoin? I think I haven't, to be honest, I haven't kept up with them. They were trying to basically also tokenize anything. They're kind of like an NFT play, but they were based on Bitcoin. So I don't know if they transited to their own chain or not. But yeah, they were kind of the first ones to get involved with tokenizing. But I honestly haven't kept up with the project. No, that's not it. Not Raven Protocol. Ravencoin. I mean, they're not doing bad. They're not doing bad at all. 1.5 billion. Jeremy Park, appreciate it. Crowns. I think I've seen this before. Yeah, Seascape. Someone asked me about it. They partnered up with Binance, right? I think that's what it is. Where are they at? Are they at a good exchange? They're on Open Ocean, BitMax, not really, but at least they're on a few. Ultimate game platform designed around DeFi NFT, okay. They have cross-chain bridge, NFT token DEX, game change, NFT standard. That doesn't sound bad. The game store is coming out later this year. Begin Covenant, okay. Launch the Seascape DeFi system. Did they launch yet? Or maybe they're about to launch. Yeah, there's still development in progress. So, yeah, I did hear about Binance partnering up with them. This could be a good one. This could be a good one. But it seems like they're a little early, but I gotta say, this could be a good one. I'll keep my eye on this one. What else is there? Vortex. Yeah, this is probably too low. Too new, too low. Nah. Do you trade with Market Cipher? No, I just buy and hold, especially all these altcoins. I used to, and I still do a little bit. I have a small amount of my portfolio where I try to day trade with, and 50% of the time I do well, 50% of the time I don't. So it kind of just evens out. And I think I'm probably more down by trading versus where I just find good projects to invest in, and I'm up thousands of percents. So I much rather find good ones and just hodl. Miller, appreciate that. Engine, Phantom, Theta, Algorand have hit their highs yet? No. Maybe temporarily, like, you know, Engine hit a top and kind of came down yesterday and now it came up again. Phantom, Theta, Algorand, I mean, I like Theta, Engine, I like Phantom too. Algorand, I'm kind of mixed. But, you know, when people ask that question, you got to realize, do you think Bitcoin's topped out? If you think 60,000 for Bitcoin topped out, then yeah, maybe you think all these altcoins topped out. But if Bitcoin is going much higher, Bitcoin's going 10x, then do you think all these topped out? The answer is no. No. So just think about it that way. What's up with the VThor? I mean, because VeChain is getting hot. VeChain is getting hot. That's why VThor is getting hot. So I'm really glad to see it because VeChain has been held down for quite some time. But I think they start moving up because people realize that China's about to open up their ecosystem. Drink more water instead of Diet Coke. I've been cutting it down. I've been cutting down a lot. New, where's your super chat? I missed it. I apologize, but there's so many that flow through. I don't see it anymore. It disappeared. You got to tell me what you wrote. Someone says Market Cipher is garbage. 1 inch. I actually do like 1 inch. They're a DEX aggregator. I think still people get confused that they compete with like Uniswap. They don't. They utilize Uniswap. They utilize SushiSwap. They utilize a lot of those things. Jay Stevens, doing some profit taking. Okay. You know what? That kind of TA, like where, RSI's topped out and it should come down and stuff like that, generally works with a normal market. But when it's in a super hot market or even in a very cold market, they just don't work. When something goes up infinitely to the moon, it just keeps breaking all those overbought scenarios. Same thing when something's going down, it breaks through it. So yeah, utilize it. But you know what? Right now, what I'm doing is basically buying and holding. That's really it. I don't even really try to get out. It's just so much headaches to try to time it. Especially my portfolio is pretty diversified right now. Scott says whales are dumping. Checking on Glassnode. Give us your thoughts. If they're dumping, why is Bitcoin still at 60,000? I don't have the full Glassnode, and I'm not paying $800 for it. But I don't know who's dumping right now. All miners. Miner outflow. There's no outflow. I don't see it. And stop putting in caps. I think all you're doing is driving FUD right now. And, this is what I always say. Like, there's like no fear right now. I have absolutely zero fear. And you know why? It's because I know Bitcoin is not going anywhere. And how could you fear when Bitcoin has 60,000? I've said this recently too, at 50,000, at 40,000, at 30,000, right? We're way above our 20,000 high before. We're 3 times as high. If there's a correction, great, all right? It gives you a buying opportunity because I think so many people think that Bitcoin is too high. People don't realize that you could buy fractional pieces of Bitcoin. And people think it's just too high. But you know what? If it does come down, guess what? It's a great buying opportunity. For some of you guys that feel like altcoins have topped out, Bitcoin has topped out, if it does come down, great. Think of it as a gift. But there's no doubt in my mind that 100,000 is coming right around the corner. And there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to go much higher than that. So I think we need to stop panicking. And, just focus on the future. If there are warning signs and I see it, I'm going to let you guys know. But right now, things are looking pretty darn good. Mark is asking about Orchid. I think it's Orchid, right? Yeah, I mean, they're like a decentralized VPN service. So not a very sexy one, but I think they're a good idea. I know the co-founders of this. I have not spoken to them. I went to college with Jay Freeman and Rob, who is like the CMO, and Jay is like the CTO of Orchid. But I guess they had some kind of internal riffle or something. They changed management, whatever. I went to high school with Jay. He's a smart guy. So I could tell you that about Jay. He also started Cydia. For those of you guys that remember the jailbroken app store for iOS, he started that too. So he's come a long way, but in terms of a project, I don't know how sexy a decentralized VPN is. Matic is good. Layer 2 solutions are very hot right now. What else is there? Jose, exactly. How can anyone be panicking at 60,000? I still don't get this notion. Like at 50,000, when we went down to 40,000, I'm like, how can anyone be panicking? So I don't know. It's just I get it. I'm trying not to laugh at newcomers. I get it. If they get in, they're very worried. But this is crypto, man. It's volatile. You'll see periods where like this, 57,000 goes down to 54,000, 3,000. I mean, it seems like a lot. There might be periods where, 52,000 goes down to 46,000, which is a lot, right? But this is crypto. You take advantage, you dollar cost average, you don't panic, you never panic sell. And you take advantage of dips and you hold them. And then if you do that, it's going to lead to more gains and more gains and more gains. Jeremy, can you find upcoming events through CoinMarketCal? I have before. If you check out Reef on there, you'll be bamboozled about all the events and afraid because we're open, long positions. What does that mean? There's a lot of events for a lot of things. Harmony also has a lot of events, right? I used to incorporate that, but I'm not sure. I'm afraid that people will just try to utilize it and try to like buy it before all these events. It doesn't really correlate with events sometimes. But yeah, CoinMarketCal, for those of you guys that want to look at events of projects, this is kind of like a crowdsourced kind of thing where people put events up for certain tokens that they like. So you could definitely utilize it for your advantage. But yeah, Jeremy, I could do that in the future. Start looking at some of these. But what, are you pro Reef? Or is that what you're saying? Oh, I think you meant to say in two ways. If there's a dump and Reef. I will wait. When Alice token comes out, do not buy on the first day because it's gonna pump up to the moon. It's gonna go up like 1,000%, and then guess what? It's gonna fall down 99.9%. So do not buy Alice on the first day. Every single project listed gets up to the moon and it comes right back down. So, but I think it's a good buy. Should I YOLO into George Coin? I wish. I had an idea because I'm still planning for a Vegas party and it's very, very expensive. I was thinking about maybe coming out of George Coin and utilizing that as a ticket. But I don't know. I don't want to go through all that. Scale is to scale Ethereum. I saw this yesterday. To me, I think it's a layer 2 solution. I don't know if it's beyond that. But it looks like it's a layer 2 solution. So I don't know too much about it. So can't tell you much. I'll have to dig more into it. Engine, I talked about Engine. Very fantastic project. Leaders in the NFT space. Why is Polka Starter going up too much? I don't know. Sometimes things just pump. Polka Starter, to me, I'm not interested in it, but I think it could do well. It's like one of those sites where if you're trying to raise funding, it'll help you do that. I forgot what it's called, but you know, it's interesting. It helps you kind of like raise funds, but it's a decentralized version of it. So it could be good, but there was one like this before that failed miserably. I forgot what they were called, so that's why I wasn't too keen on it, but they could do well. You could see that they're coming back up to their previous highs. Maybe they're getting involved. Maybe they're getting involved with NFTs. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Shroom and G-Swap? Where are those, man? Why are they such weird names? Yeah, probably not gonna do well. Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, that's not gonna do well. That's not gonna do well at all. Sean, do you think VSwap 3 will live up to hype? I don't know. I don't know. It's a guess. Everyone's anticipating that they're going to release NFT marketplace, which could be good. But, you know, Sushi and PancakeSwap has it already, so I don't know if it's going to cause that much of an explosion. Maybe. I think they were selling socks recently. But, and the layer 2 solution, I think that's a given. I think every other project have announced that they're moving to a layer 2 solution, so I think that's a given. So I don't know if that's considered living up to his hype. I think they're doing fine. They're a big cap for a reason. Vet, I like Vet a lot. I've been talking a lot about Vet. Man, if another person says the whales have dumped BTC, I'm going to like boot them out of the chat. Where's this dump? Bitcoin is at 60,000. Where's this dump that is talked about? Why are exchange tokens not performing at the moment? VGX is down a lot. Brian, I'm going to show you something that'll blow your mind and counter what you just said. You might not care because maybe you got in a little bit late, but when I talked about VGX, it was at 79 cents. And in the last 3 months, Voyager's up 3,000%. So I wouldn't say that it's struggling by any means. Okay, now I get it. If you bought at $7, you may think so. But you know what? Things come in waves. I think when the Coinbase IPO goes live, a lot of these exchanges will come to life. VGX being one of them, KuCoin shares being another, CRO possibly going to move up. So that's the reason. But when something's up 3,000%, you can't really complain, right? Yeah, Chili's, I still believe in Chili's. It's taking a breather. You know how I've been saying things take a breather sometimes? Chili's took a very slight breather yesterday. It went down to like 58 cents or something. Now it's back up to 66 cents. It went as high as like 80 cents before or something. I think it's gearing up for next run, but Engine is definitely still hot after the breather. I picked up, I had Engine, when it was like, I forgot, 50 cents or 40 cents or something. I picked some up because it took a breather at 110, and that was like a week ago. Now it's like a 270. I mean, some of these you just got to pay attention, and there's a lot more like that. There's a lot more like that, and it's not just NFTs. I just cover Harmony. Harmony's up big because they're a fantastic project too. So it's not just NFTs right now. What do you think about Michael Saylor saying altcoins are a necessary waste of time? Here's the thing. I think some people, a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, I'm not saying Michael Saylor because he's rich beyond wealth, but a lot of Bitcoiners refuse to look at altcoins because in a way they're a little jealous because of how fast altcoins are moving. And but you have some Bitcoin maximalists like Michael that's so focused, like laser focused on Bitcoin, and there's nothing wrong with that because going 100% all in Bitcoin, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think you could do that and be perfectly fine. But you got to realize but they have the stance where, okay, everything else is a distraction, just Bitcoin, right? And what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is just disrupting gold as a store of value. It could be disrupting fiat in a way in the future, right? But right now it's disrupting gold, being the ultimate store of value. But what about everything else? So are we just going to assume the way the world works, the financial system, DeFi, right? The way things are done, all these payment systems that are centralized, are we just going to assume that they're going to be like that forever? Are we just going to assume the big tech companies of the world will always utilize a centralized database, centralized network? I think it's ridiculous to think that you could say Bitcoin will be the digital version of gold, but no decentralized version of anything else will ever take to be something else. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. That's just like Goldbug saying that gold will never be replaced while Bitcoin is replacing it. So that's why I disagree with that statement. Unless you really think the world is going to stay as is and never change, and Bitcoin is the only innovation ever that will replace something, an analog gold to a digital gold, I think that's very narrow-minded. So that's why I don't agree with that at all. Now, with that said, is there a lot of altcoins that is a distraction? Yes, I would say 99.9% of altcoins are distractions. There are 8,800 cryptocurrencies out there. And I would say about 0.1% of them are legit projects, ones that are good, which is why I'm doing my homework and sharing with you guys. But for everyone else, yeah, they're... and Hellcat Crypto, you're one of them. I hate to say it, you're just jealous of altcoin gains at this point. The purest Bitcoin Maximus, are simply jealous at this point, because it's ridiculous to think that Bitcoin will replace gold, but Ethereum or Polkadot or Cardano can never mount to anything. That Microsoft and Apple and Amazon will forever be, and there will never be something that compete with them ever. Social media will always be the same. TikTok will always stay there, but they're relatively new, so that's the irony there. Are we just go assume all banks will always be the same? That society forever going into the future will always be the same and never change? I mean, that's just ridiculous to think about. That's just ridiculous to think about. And if you do believe that, then you're very narrow-minded, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing. Hellcat, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong being a Bitcoin Maximus, but when you're a Bitcoin Maximus and you're very, very, very salty on altcoins, it's because you're jealous. But that's not the way to look at it. If it's not for you, fine. But the ones that are outspoken, that keep talking shit about altcoins, they're the ones that's jealous. So don't let that ruin you. All right, guys, that is it. Overall, BTC is doing pretty good. All this fun about Bitcoin whales dumping, I don't see it. I don't see it. Bitcoin's at 60,000, and even if it does fall, if it falls to 50,000 tomorrow, great. It's a buying opportunity. It's a buying opportunity. So why is there any fear at this point? There should be none. But like I said, in the meantime, while Bitcoin is going up, it's carrying everything else, and altcoins are doing very, very, very well right now. Very well right now, so pay attention. Don't be flooded by the Bitcoin Maximus. Stay the course, do your own research, and find the good projects you believe in, and you're going to make a lot of money with it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash with the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned. Stay tuned tomorrow, 11 a.m.